Thanks so much for joining us and being part of this and joining me. It's a great privilege to be able to share so openly with people and have everyone be so accepting. And today, we've all been sat around for at least a week now. It's been about a week for me. Not just sitting around, but definitely not as much moving as usual. So today, I'm going to fire it up a little bit more, get into those muscles that maybe haven't been getting the same exercise, and really get them nice and warm, all the juices flowing, stretch super deep into our tissues. Yeah, and that's what we're going to do today. So bear with me, bear with yourselves, and trust yourselves that you know what you need to do and what you can't do or what you don't want to do yet. And allow yourself space to try new things if that's what you feel like doing or if it feels right to you. There are no wrongs and there is no one watching because you're in your house. You're all just watching me. So don't worry about anything, let yourself free, let your mind go. And yeah, let's get started before we ramble on forever. So I'm just going to come into my mat, find a nice comfortable position, easy pose, seated position, legs crossed just in front of you, whichever way feels right for you. And just allow yourself to come into your body. Maybe you've got to wriggle a little bit to feel comfortable. Maybe roll your shoulders, roll your head, whatever it takes just to come to your seated position. And start to become aware of your breath. Feel how it flows or doesn't flow. Just notice it without judgment, full acceptance. Allow your breath to deepen, filling up that stomach, then the chest and the throat, and exhaling, releasing it out from the chest, the belly, and inhaling again, filling up the belly and the chest and the throat, and exhaling, throat, the chest, the belly. Continue with this deep breath in your own time. Feeling that diaphragm expand, filling up the rib space and the throat, and then releasing down like a ripple in the opposite direction, the throat, the chest, the belly. Allow yourself to come inward. Connect with that space within you, your inner light, the true you, whatever you like to call it. Come to that energy of connection with yourself. And feel within yourself, how am I feeling? Not how should I be feeling or how I want to be feeling. How am I feeling? In my physical body, my emotional body, my energetic body, my spiritual body. How am I feeling? And allow those thoughts just to come into your mind, come into the space, and just observe them. Don't attach, don't judge, just observe them. Maybe there's clearly a part of your body that's needing a bit of extra love, or a bit of tough love, or just some care and TLC. And that's okay. And take note of that within yourself for this practice. Still continuing with that breath. And allowing a small shh sound on every exhale. Contracting the muscles in your throat, just so that you can hear your breath. Like the sound of the ocean. Our breath is always there to bring us back to the present moment. When our mind is running away with us, when we're frustrated in a pose, or we're confused of trying to get into a pose, come back to the breath. And whatever your intention for today might be, take note of that now with yourself. Maybe repeat it 3 times in your head. Maybe repeat it 3 times out loud. Whatever you need to do in this space. Allowing your eyes to blink open when you're ready. I'm going to lead you through a bit of breath work today. It's called Kalabati breathing. So this stokes your internal fire, your furnace, your solar plexus, your center of creativity. And it goes like this. We take one big inhale, cleansing from the diaphragm, the chest and the throat. And exhale. And we take one more inhale, and we have a forceful exhale, but a passive inhale, engaging these muscles, engaging our diaphragm, and working strongly with the energetic, the forceful, and the passive, the relaxation, in quite quick succession. So I'll demonstrate it now. Inhale and exhale. And inhale to Kalabati breathing. And about 20 exhales. Don't worry if this feels hard, if you can't do this. These techniques take a long time. People practice them for their whole lives. So be kind to yourself. Don't judge yourself. And I'll just show again from the side so that you can see what's happening to my belly. So I'm inhaling. And I'm exhaling to cleanse. And inhale again. I hope you can see that. So we're going to do one more round of that, or 2 more rounds, so that we've done 3 rounds. About 20 inhales and exhales while we're doing Kalabati per round. So let's do 2 more together, and I'll cue you through it. So inhale and exhale. Really get out all that old breath. Inhale again into Kalabati breathing. And release. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Inhale to Kalabati, about 20 rounds. Probably feel that fire, that heat already. Gorgeous, super luscious. So starting to move into our body more, feeling ourselves now. We're going to inhale, hands above the head, palms meet, and exhale, take the right hand down to the ground and extend that left hand over the side, keeping the left sit bone grounded, extending out, reaching, feeling that deep side body stretch, easing into it and breathing. With each exhale, sinking a little bit further maybe. One more breath. And inhale up to the center. And exhale, take the left hand down to the other side now, to the left side. Reaching that right arm over. Keeping that right sit bone grounded. Finding that space in the right side body. Inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, deepening the stretch slightly. And one more breath here. And inhale to come back up to the center. Exhaling now, take your right hand behind your spine, right at your sit bones, and your left hand to your right knee. And exhaling, looking over the right shoulder, finding a twist. Inhaling, lengthening, and exhaling, twist. Two more breaths here. Inhale, lengthening, up to the sky, and exhaling, deepening the twist. And inhale, come back to the center. And exhaling, taking the other side, right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the spine, behind the sit bones, and looking over the left shoulder this time. Inhale, lengthening, exhaling, twisting a bit further. One more breath here. And coming back to the center. Inhale, drop that belly forward and take the gaze up to the sky. And exhale, round the spine, tuck the pelvis, tuck the navel as close to your spine as you can, sucking it in and curving the spine. Inhale, rocking forwards again, arching the back, dropping the belly forward, eyes come to the sky. And exhale, rounding the spine. 3 more rounds of this in your own time. Really feeling that seated cat-cow. All the nourishment for the spine. And now start with your rib cage to make small circles around your pelvis. Curving backwards, over to the sides, arching forwards. Exhale as you're curving. Inhale as you come forwards. And exhale as you curve. One more this direction. And we'll go the other way. Balancing out both sides of the energy, spiraling the opposite way with our pingala. our masculine energy to the right side. Exhale, curving. Inhale, arching. And one more. And slowly just find yourself back in the center. Feel yourself grounding through those sit bones. And feel now how it feels to sit. Notice the changes in your body. Notice the changes in your energy. And how that is now flowing with greater ease up and down your spine. Connecting you to earth through your root and spirit through your crown. That straight spine, feeling it there. The only reason we do asana in yoga is to be able to sit for longer periods of time in meditation. It's great to get all those endorphin rushes too, we love that, and it's super great for our vessel that we drive on this earth. But this is the main goal, to be able to sit. So feel how that feels. How can you feel most aligned? Where are the areas of tension? Where are the areas that maybe are in pain? Maybe are in a different kind of pain, undescribable as just pain. Shifting forwards, finding yourself in a tabletop position. So however this happens for you, whatever you need to do, everyone's in a different space. So work out for yourself whatever you need to do to get into a tabletop. Wrists underneath shoulders, the eye of the elbow, which is this part, the inside of the elbow, rotating forwards, engaging the shoulders, so much space between the shoulder blades, pushing the ground away. My knees are under my hips and my pelvis is slightly tucked, keeping my abs engaged. So while we're here, before we start anything, we're going to warm up our hands. We did this last time, if you were here. So round and round in circles, spreading the fingers wide. Just rotate those shoulders in circles around your wrists. Starting off small, getting slightly bigger. Maybe there's an area that needs a bit more. And the other way now. Maybe turning the fingers out to the sides, rocking side to side, stretching into those forearms. Feeling the blood flow increase immediately into your wrists and your hands. The energy is there. Our hands are so important for any of the, for want of a better term, impressive, even though impressions are invalid, poses in yoga, or for inversions, things like that, arm balances. All of those can really be helped by strengthening the hands and stretching the hands. So again, if you want, turn your toes, your fingers facing your knees and rock backwards. Option here as well to take the tops of the hands to the mat. However this feels for you, don't push yourself. You can start sitting back and ease forward. Your elbows might be poking out. Whatever it is for you, just feel that stretch right here in the front of the forearm. Be gentle with yourself. This is something I do every day, which is super great because I've been knitting like a mad woman for like a week. And also, keeping with the breath here as well. Let's take a few finger push-ups. Let's take about 10. So if you can see my hands, I'm just lifting up the heel of my hands, keeping my fingers on the ground, and exhaling down. About 10 of these in your own time. Lots of people in old age, I know, have problems with arthritis in their hands. Things like this is going to prevent that. keeping all of those muscles, those tendons strong. That's probably about 10. And then once again, like last time, tuck the toes underneath. However it feels best, spreading your toes out as far as you can. Drop those knees down if they're up, and just lower your bum back towards your heels. Walking the hands up, maybe you're here, maybe walking up to the thighs. Option also is to take your reverse prayer hands behind your back. And just breathe with this. We'll start with 5. It can be very intense. All of our fascia gathers at the bottoms, at the soles of our feet and the tops of our head. So it's a very, very relevant place to be energizing. Your fascia dictates the body map that you have in your mind, your muscle memory. Your fascia is the one that's translating those messages around your body. This is one of the reasons that massage is so healing for the body. Okay, release the hands if you had a bind. Walk yourself down again. Release those feet. Maybe just tap them out on the floor, whatever feels right for you. Whatever feels right for you. That one can be really intense. A lot of us won't be on our feet so much at the moment. I know I'm definitely not. So back in our tabletop position, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, pelvis slightly tucked, engaging the abs. Inhale that right leg out straight towards the back. And on your exhale, extend your left hand forward. Gaze is straight down at the mat in front of you. This will help you balance. Having a fixed point, a drishti, to focus your gaze on. And squaring up here. Ideally your body hasn't moved from the tabletop. It's just your leg and your arm have extended out. Keeping the abs engaged. About 2 more breaths here, I'd say. We're doing 5 breaths in every pose. And release that down to the mat. Shifting over to the other side. Inhale the left leg out to the back. And exhale the right arm forward. The eye of the elbow is still rotated forward. I'm still pushing the ground away with my supporting arm. And my pelvis is still tucked. Imagine your arm is being pulled out in front of you and your leg is being pulled out behind you. Visualizing this state of tension will help you achieve as low effort as possible. And release down. Taking a moment here to take child's pose. Just sitting back onto your heels. And take your third eye to your mat. Relaxing down. Already our arms are a bit fired up from tabletop. Two more breaths like this. And shifting back up through tabletop now. Tuck those toes, keep the knees bent, and walk your toes, your feet, as close to your hands as you can. Maybe you have to walk your hands backwards to meet them. Feet hips width apart, knees are still bent, and we're just going to hang out. Relax the whole top body, the arms, the head, right down to the mat. Resting your belly on your legs, on your thighs. Feeling gravity work in the opposite direction. Maybe taking your opposite elbows. Maybe swinging about. Maybe nodding your head. Whatever you need. Maybe you want to straighten your legs. And slowly
vertebra by vertebra, keeping the legs bent, rolling up through spine,
all the way up to standing. Lovely stuff. So this is where my head gets cut off, but I'll explain what I'm doing. So just listen and follow along as best you can. So, we're standing, our feet are hips width apart. Our spine is stacked on top of our pelvis, our shoulders on top of our hips, straight aligned. This is the first time we're standing up today maybe, or in our practice anyway. Inhale those arms above your head, however feels best for you. My hands meet above my head. And exhale, the hands through heart center, bending at the waist, forward fold, as low as you can, wherever you are. It's first thing in the morning or whatever, so you might be here.
exhaling, feeling that bend.
Inhale, halfway lift, straighten out the spine, so fingertips to the mat, or to the shins, or to the thighs, wherever you need to be. And exhale, plant those hands, step back the right foot, and then the left foot into a plank. The eye of the elbow still rotated forward, pelvis still tucked, space between the shoulder blades, and drop those knees. Exhale, pitching forward, hugging those elbows into your ribs, bending down into a chaturanga, and inhaling forward, find your baby cobra. So just a gentle baby cobra, my hands are on the floor, my ribs are on the floor. And exhale, pushing up through tabletop, tucking the toes, lifting the hips towards the sky, and pushing those heels towards the ground. Find your downward facing dog. And 5 breaths here. Maybe you want to walk out your dog, paddle the feet, move the hips, roll the spine, whatever you need. Maybe you want to shake out your head again. Inhale, lifting your right leg up to the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, pitch forward, place that under your heart, or at the top of your mat on the right side, and then stepping up the left foot again, inhaling half lift, exhale forward fold, and inhale coming up, pitching at the waist, all the way up to standing. So this is our modified vinyasa, again, if you remember from last year, haven't been here for a year. And we're going to flow through this a few more times. So if this feels right for you, this can be the vinyasa that you take every time, stepping back into a plank, 1 foot at a time. Or if jumping back to chaturanga is in your practice, feel free. And you're welcome to try it. I do suggest carrying with the modified version, just until you feel that the form is there and you want to try jumping back, because you can hurt yourself. So don't hurt yourself, listen to your body, listen to the advice. This is nice, talking with my hands. So once again, inhaling, hands up to the sky, lengthening the spine. Exhale, hands through heart center, forward fold, pitching at the waist. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten the spine. Exhale, plant the hand, step back left foot this time, and then the right foot into a plank. Drop the knees, and exhale, hugging the elbows into a press up position, just 1 inch off the ground, and then inhaling up to baby cobra. Exhale, pushing back up through tabletop, tucking the toes, and finding your down dog again. And again, 5 breaths here, 5 breath rest.
placing, while in downward dog, our armpits towards each other. Once again, bringing that space between our shoulder blades. Protecting our joints from this. Engaging the muscles. Inhale this left leg up to the sky this time, three-legged dog. And pitching forward, stepping up from a plank position. Left foot, and then stepping your right foot in. Halfway lift, straighten the legs, straighten the spine. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, pitching at the waist, arms come above the head. We're back up to standing once more. Take a moment here in mountain pose. Feel yourself rooted through your feet, and once again, up from your root chakra, up through your spine, up to your crown, that connection with earth. You are the lightning rod. Feel it. Feel that energy dancing through your body. Once again, on your next inhale, arms above the head. Exhale, pitching out the waist, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, however you flow through your vinyasa. Flow through that. Follow your breath. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog once more. For 5 breaths here. On your next inhale, take your right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. And exhale, take your right knee to your right elbow, shifting forward to plank. Inhale, back up to three-legged. And exhale, take your right knee to your left elbow. And inhale, back up to three-legged. Once more, shifting forward to plank, take your nose to your knee. And drop your foot underneath your heart. Rotate that back foot to 45 degrees with the mat. And slowly pitching up at the waist into a warrior one. My heels are in line with each other. My knee is above my ankle. I'm pushing into that outward edge of that foot and my hips are square. And my hands are at heart center or flowing out, cactus arms above your head, whatever feels right. 3 more breaths here. Keeping those hips square, feeling that burn in that right leg. Building up that heat. Coming now, stepping your back foot just a little bit closer to your front foot and straightening your front leg. A micro bend in the knee, so not all the way locked out, just slightly. Taking the hands to the hips are square again. Inhale, lengthening up the spine, and exhale, keeping the spine straight, pitching forward at the waist, as far down as you can for a pyramid pose. Keeping the hips square. 5 breaths here. On your next inhale, coming up, stepping that back foot down again, and slowly finding your hands at the mat again. Sucking up that right foot, nose to knee in plank again, and inhale back up to a 3-legged dog. And exhale, drop that down to downward facing dog. And we'll take a 5 breath rest here. At any point, if you need to come down to child's pose, don't strain your shoulders, your wrists, your hands, your elbows, any of it. Take a rest. Don't stress the NHS, take a rest. And on your next inhale, take your gaze between your hands, and however you got into your vinyasa, now flow up, back out. So you can step, you can walk, you can try a little hop, or float up to your feet towards your hands. Inhale, straighten your spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, pitching out the waist, coming up to standing once more. Inhale again, raising the arms above the head. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Straightening the spine. Exhale, planting the hands, however you got back. Stepping back or hopping back. Inhale up to upward facing or baby cobra. And exhale, onto downward facing dog once more. 5 breaths here, a little rest. Maybe you need to take child's pose. Whatever is right for you. And we'll meet back up in downward facing dog. Inhaling the left leg up to the sky this time. And exhale, shifting forward to plank, left leg to left elbow. Inhaling back up to downward facing, 3-legged. And exhale, left knee to right elbow. Shifting forward. Inhale, 3-legged. And exhale, nose to knee. And drop that foot underneath your heart. Turn your back foot to 45 degrees. Pitching up at the waist. Finding your warrior one on the second side. My knee is above my ankle. The outward edge of my back foot is pushing down into the mat. My hips are square. 5 breaths here. Taking the hands to the hips and stepping that back foot just slightly in and straightening both your legs. Hips are square to the front of the mat again. Inhale, lengthening the spine. And exhale, bending at the waist. Pitching forward with a straight spine as far as you can. Finding your pyramid. Two more breaths. And on your last inhale, coming up, finding your way back down to your lunge, sucking up that left foot and pushing up to the 3-legged dog on your exhale. And dropping down to a normal downward facing dog. Option here to take a resting child's pose if that's right for you. Dropping those knees down, sinking the bum towards the heel. And relaxing. Or we're just hanging out in downward facing dog. Keeping those space between our shoulder blades, our hips up to the sky. Our necks relaxed. We're meeting up in downward facing dog again. However you flow out of your vinyasa, stepping up to the top of your mat or hopping up the top of your mat, do so. And inhale, halfway lift, straighten the spine. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, pitching up at the waist, back up to standing. And find yourself in standing. feeling grounded through your feet once more. Maybe wiggling out, moving out, whatever you need to. A bit of free movement. Work into those hips. Once again, at the top of your mat, feet hips distance apart. We're going to inhale, sweeping the arms back and lifting them up to the sky, dropping the seat bones down towards the heels. The pelvis is tucked. My abs are engaged. My knees are trying to be directly above my heels and I'm sitting back, chair pose. And my heart space is lifted up towards the front. 5 breaths here, guys. It's going to be okay. Just one more. And straight up. Shift your weight over to your left foot and find whatever variation of tree pose you like. Kickstand here to the calf or all the way up in the groin, avoiding the knee area above all else. So finding yourself there, the toes on the standing leg are spread. My right foot is pushing into my left thigh and my left thigh is pushing into my right foot. My hands are in prayer pose, or you can take them to the hips or out to the side. Just 5 breaths here. One more. And release it down. Shake it out. Shifting over now to the right hand side. The right toes spreading. Finding your variation. Kickstand to the calf or to the groin. Whatever arm variation you need. Find your focus point to gaze at. Keeping your balance. Three more breaths here, guys. Pushing the foot and the leg together. Feeling that opposing energy holding you central. And release down. Shake it out. Whatever feels good. Coming back to the top of your mat, wherever you are. Once again, inhale, sweeping the arms backwards and dropping the seat bones towards the heels, finding our chair pose. Once again, 5 breaths here. Two more. And this time, exhaling, hands to heart center, find your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhaling, stepping, jumping, or floating through your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing, or baby cobra. Exhale to downward facing. Take a breath here, take a rest, 5 breaths. And on your next inhale, raising that left leg to the sky and opening up that hip. Keep your shoulders square, just open up that hip Maybe find some movement. Whatever feels good for you. Maybe extend it to the sky. I don't even know if you can see my leg, probably not. And then squaring up the hips again, coming to your three-legged. Exhale, take your nose to your knee, floating into a plank. And drop that foot down between your hands, your right foot. Rotating your left foot parallel with the back of the mat. Windmill those arms, inhaling, coming up to a warrior two here. What's this? Yes. Here we are. So 5 breaths here. Knee above the ankle. Energy pushing into the outside edge of my back foot. There's lots of air in my arms. Parallel to the floor. My shoulders are stacked on top of my hips. And my gaze is to my front right index finger. Really finding that opening in the hips. One more breath, I think. Inhale, reach forward with that hand and take, if it's available to you, your right hand on the inside of your right foot. If not, you can come to here, and my left arm is extended up to the sky in front, above me. Side angle pose. So we're either here, or there's an option here if it's in your practice to take that right arm under your right leg, take your left arm behind, and grab your left wrist. And really rotate and look up to the sky. One more breath, I think. Inhale, windmilling up to your warrior two once more. Straighten out those legs and turn both of your toes to the side of your mat. Maybe you need a wiggle. I need a bit of a wiggle. Turning my toes slightly inward here, I'll take my hands to my hips. Inhale, up, lengthening the spine. And exhale, pushing out the waist, keeping my spine straight. Bending forward, finding a wide leg strip forward fold. As deep as is available to you. And then relax yourself down. Once again, feel gravity working the opposite direction. Feel your spine decompress. 2 more breaths. And inhale, taking your fingertips to the mat, forward fold, straighten your spine. Take your hands to your hips once more. And slowly pitching yourself up to standing. Rotating this left foot to face this way, the back of the mat towards your left hand side. And your right foot stays where it is. Bending into that knee, my knee above my ankle once more. And inhale, keeping my shoulders square, finding air in my arms, and gazing to my left index finger. Feeling the energy shoot out of this knee and down into the ground, the outside edge of my back foot. 5 breaths here. Stay with me, stay with yourself. If you need a rest, that's okay. Inhale, reaching forward with that left hand. And exhale, find your variation of side angle. Whether you were elbow to the thigh, hand on the inside of the foot, stretching over, or take the bind. 5 breaths, guys. And that's probably 5 for you as well. And inhale, windmilling the arms up Finding warrior 2 again. Turning both feet again, parallel facing the side of the mat. Maybe you gotta wiggle your hips out. Inhaling once more, lengthening the spine. Exhale, pitching forward, keeping the spine straight. And now finding your deepest expression of this pose. Wherever you are, finding yourself stretching forward, body in half, wide-legged forward fold. If handstands in your practice from here, and it feels like you want to do it, go for it. And if your head is close to the floor, you could try this if you wanted to. My fingers are spread, shoulder width apart. My head is going between my hands, making a triangle. And I'm just finding that balance point of my hips on top of my head. And squeezing those elbows in towards each other, keeping my drishti. I have my headstand. And coming out the same way that you went in. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten the spine. And exhale, just relax it down once more. Inhaling, hands to the hips. And with a straight spine, pitching up. Windmilling the arms over towards the left. Finding a lunge on your left side, your left foot between your hands. Suck up that inside foot. And then push back to a three-legged. Open up that hip, just to balance it out. Come back to a three-legged. And once more to a downward dog. And I think let's all take child's pose here. Drop the knees. Maybe taking the knees to the outside edge of the mat. And really just relaxing down. Taking that third eye to the mat. Maybe placing one side of the face on the mat and taking the arms round towards the back. Really relaxing the shoulders. Really restorative pose. And turning your head the other side if you have your cheek to the mat. Stay with your breath. You can definitely do it. You can do it, Mia. I love that we get comments through this. It's so great. So we're in our child's pose, chilling out, tuning into that restful, restorative side. Feeling our third eye connecting to the ground, to Mother Earth, deep beneath us. Being open and willing to accepting her support in these hard times. And pouring light and love back into her. All of us dotted around the world, directing our energy to healing ourselves, to healing the earth around us. I visualize it like an acupuncture map on the human body, but around the earth, of all of us directing that good energy, that pure, honest, nurturing energy that we have from nature, passed down to us, and we're giving it back. So each time we do this, I feel it working. So in whichever way feels best for you, maybe shifting up through tabletop, coming up to a downward dog or something, walking those feet once again into our easy pose, and this time taking the soles of the feet together and opening those feet up like a book. And I'm sorry if you don't like touching your feet, but you should really like touching your feet. It's good for you. Just give yourself a massage, a foot massage. Give yourself some TLC. We got our heat flowing in our bodies. We opened up, and a new level of tissue today in our deep, strong, supportive muscles, preparing us for that life on the outside world, freeing us from body consciousness, encouraging that ability to do anything we want that our body already has, refreshing those muscles that maybe didn't get used so much. You didn't run for the bus, you didn't run up the stairs, so here we are. Or we're just here, taking a little bit of time for ourselves. So really get into your feet, love your feet, massage the arches, massage your toes, the balls of your feet, the heels of your feet. And where you are, no matter how close or far your heels are into your crotch, inhale, lengthening the spine, and exhale slowly, 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 really gently, pitching forward, rounding the spine, finding a stretch. Maybe your hands are on your head is on your hands, or on your fists, or maybe you have a cushion or a book. Wherever you are, just relaxing down once more, feeling into those hips. Really feel that relaxation washing over you with each breath. And slowly in your own time, inhale, walking the hands up, back to seated. Place the soles of the feet on the mat, hips distance apart. And with your hands on your knees or behind your thighs, slowly just roll down the spine onto the mat. Feel every vertebra as it touches the mat. Feel your spine straight against the ground. Bring those heels into where you can just about tickle them with your fingers. And on your next inhale, arching the spine, lifting up from the shoulders, push the hips up to the sky. And breathe, don't forget to breathe. Try to relax the glutes as much as possible. Create more space in your lower back. And exhale, rolling it down, back to the mat. We'll take one more expression of this, and this time, if it feels available to you, you can walk your shoulders under and clasp your hands underneath your back. So inhale, lifting the hips up to the sky, And walk those shoulders underneath if it's possible for you, and clasp your hands underneath your back. And breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. Feeling that openness in your heart space. And exhale, release the hands, walk the shoulders out and roll down the spine. We'll windscreen wiper the legs, just taking the knees from left to right. Maybe taking the hands onto the knees, making little circles, massaging the lower back, and in the other way. Option here for any last poses, maybe a happy baby. Maybe you want to roll around like this, taking your hands onto the outside of your feet and your knees into your elbows. You can massage the back this way and stretch into the hips. So a little bit more time for any last poses. Whatever feels best for you. And slowly making your way down, straightening out the legs, straight to the mat. Rotating your palms up to the sky, laying down our final position, corpse pose. This is where the relaxation takes over and integration, a very important part of the practice, stillness. This is where we integrate all that we did in our practice into our whole being. Allow your mind to clear and your body to relax. Your toes, your feet, your ankles melting into the mat, and your calves and your knees melting, soften. Your thighs and your hips, the muscles relaxing, the joints melting, your pelvis, your back, your lower back, all your organs, the muscles in your trunk, they all relax. Your rib cage softening, shoulders, elbows, forearms, wrists and hands all sinking into the ground. Your neck, shoulders, jaw, face, eyelids, forehead, your scalp, your skull, all relaxing and melting into the mat. And take my words for what they're worth, or simply just let them pass by. And coming back to our intention for the day, for the practice. And asking yourself what truly serves you the best, serves your highest good. And slowly rolling over to your left side, finding yourself in a fetal position. And using your right hand to push yourself up into a seated position, keeping the eyes closed. Feeling your hands on your knees, or your thighs, or in your lap, face up, face down, however feels right for you. And feel that breath. Deep inhales and long exhales. Feeling the change in your breath. Maybe you can breathe deeper now. Feel that light spiraling up through you, from the earth, through your chakras, up through your crown, shining a spotlight down on you. Feeling the sun beaming on you,